Right, sorry about that, folks. Good afternoon. Gosh, good afternoon. That was a bit of a rush. Here we go. Right, hopefully we are coming through okay. If I can just get a quick sound check. Polo shirt today. Yes, I'm coming through. Headshot sniper. Colin Richards. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Colin. I'll make sure I don't pull this mic out of the wires. I'm using a lapel mic today, normally using the other mic, so let's keep an eye on that one. Wizard, yes, just a minute late today. Sorry about that. Maku, Janet, Omegan investors in the room as well. Good to see you, Macau and Mohsin Shaki. Last week's winner of the 500 bucks is in the room, so hopefully he's going to get another shot at it. Soul Trader, more cameras than usual for Universal Studios. Stuart Lowry, hello, MJ, Joel C, and all the others that are joining us here today. You are very welcome. Of course, we've got all our regular members, well, most of the regular members, well, some of the regular members, 253 of you in the room at the moment, which is good to see you there for this monthly event. It's come around quick, isn't it? Come around quick from the last one. I suppose the last one was on the 7th of month or whatever, so this one's the first of the month, so there you are. So it has come around pretty quick. Welcome to all those that are joining in as well for the first time. If you're a guest here today, you are more than welcome. I hope you enjoy the stay. The water's lovely and warm. You can't get involved, of course, in the chat. You may see me or hear me talking in the chat. You won't be able to get involved in that. Of course, you can whenever you decide to come and join us in our room. But so do excuse me if I'm talking to members in the room. Right, so if you are new to the non-farm payroll event, if it's first time, let me briefly tell you what's going to happen. We're going to spend about 15 minutes now just talking about non-farm payroll, looking at the estimates, looking at where I think the markets could possibly go. Then we'll have the announcement at the bottom of the hour, the actual read themselves. They'll come out the squawk, they'll come out the TV as well. There is because of the internet and streaming technology, there's about a 3-second delay than my voice to your speakers, so don't rely on what I say in terms of fastest fingers first. Chances are you'll be able to see it maybe 3 seconds earlier elsewhere, potentially at the bottom of the screen there, if you're in the room on the global news feed. And then after that, we'll see if we can make some pips. I'm not going to trade just for the sake of it. Trading this data release has always been, we've actually had a bit of, someone said to me, luck. I don't know, the more I do it, the luckier I get, I guess. But we've had a bit of success on it, but I'm not going to trade just for the sake of it. It's not my style of trading. When I used to be in the trading pits, of course, that's what we were doing. We were trading instant news all the time. Not so much a news trader myself now, but we'll see if we can make some pips if we get to key levels that basically are holding. We'll talk about that when we get onto the charts. And then we have that prize giveaway, the $1,500 prize giveaway. In 3 clips, we have $500 going to the best trade signal provider for the previous month. Give a bit of a give back time. $500 to the best room contributor as well. And then we give $500 away to those that don't get involved, the auditors that sit there on the side in the Wandom Waffle. And I'm pleased to announce today that I've actually got 33 members of my family today in the random raffle as well, so I've got a very good chance of winning today, so that's good. Right, so non-farm payroll. Why is the non-farm payroll the biggest event? Biggest event because, as we all know, the central bank, they look at the inflation targets in order to meet their mandate, and basically their job numbers are the biggest numbers that affect the inflation numbers. Why? Because the more people are employed, the more people spend money. People spend money, up go prices. People are not employed, they don't spend money, down go prices. So job numbers are the biggest event. And why in the US? Because, as we know, anytime the US sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. So the biggest economy in the world, although China are close up behind them, biggest economy in the world, we look to see what the US non-farm payrolls are doing. This month's number might be well, we've just, for those of you that have been following the economics, on Wednesday night we had the FOMC, which was the Federal Open Market Committee. That's the central bank, that's the Fed, and they moved interest rates, which was the 3rd time they've moved interest rates now this year. Pretty much it was in the market. But Powell came out, and he's the Fed chair, Fed president. He came out, he was pretty hawkish, if you like, basically saying this was like a protection cut, and that you know, that the economy is doing quite well. He actually mentioned, for those that listened into the statement, he actually mentioned that the labour market, the jobs market, was actually quite strong. But the markets basically had priced in that cut. The US dollar went up on the back of it actually for a while, and now the dollar's back moving again down today. So this number this month, you can see there on the screen. I think you can see on the screen. No, you can't. Let me just put it on the screen now. Let's just have a look there. So this is basically my sort of take on these numbers today, what we can expect. Okay, so we're looking at non-farm payroll headline number today at 90,000. That's basically 90,000 more jobs added to the economy outside of the agricultural market sector. That's why it's called non-farm. It's a lot lower number than we've seen in recent times. In fact, it's only the second time in, I think, in a couple of years that we've had an estimation of less than 100,000. If it does come in at around 90,000 or less than 100,000, it will be the third time in a year that we've actually seen a reduction of less than 100,000. But there definitely is a slowing down of more going into the workforce. Doesn't mean that more people are becoming unemployed. There's still more people getting work every month, but it's slowing down. The pace is slowing down. Okay, now this number is affected by pretty much the GM strike as well, so that's going to weigh on the numbers as well. Another reason why the numbers are coming in expected to be low. Average hourly earnings are coming in. They say estimations of up 0.3%. That's the average hourly earnings. These are the inflation numbers, of course. The more people earning, you know, this is the hourly rates. The more money they're earning, the more inclined they are to spend money. The more inclined they are to spend money, what happens? Inflation puts up. It's all about inflation. Central banks, it's all about inflation and these numbers. People earning, it's all very important. And they're all linked. Yeah. If lots of people added to the workforce and the workforce is up there at 250, 300,000, it means employers have to pay more money to get people to work because everyone can get jobs. So they're all related, these numbers. Then you've got the unemployment rate coming in at 3.6. Got to keep an eye on that time. Right, so what's going to be strong data? Strong data today will be up at 120,000. Average earnings up at 0.4 and unemployment rate dropping to 3.5. Could happen. It's unlikely. That would possibly see the we'll come to the charts in a minute and look at the currency levels and rates and see where that could affect it. Euro dollar basically would go to could possibly drop to 11.25. Dollar yen to 108.50 on strong data. Remember, strong data is good for the dollar. Typically, weak data is bad for the dollar. Weak data would be anything below around 75,000. Just listening to Bloomberg, some of the analysts on there were talking it down at 25,000, 30,000. That will be weak data. Average hourly earnings, that's easy for me to say, dropping to 0.2%, and the unemployment rate rising to 3.8%. Could see the target in euro dollar at 11.75, and dollar yen could basically drop to 107.30. Because this number is right on the heels of the FOMC, I think the impact is going to be benign. It will be benign if it's around those levels. I think if the numbers come in strong today, which is historically good for the US dollar, if the numbers come in strong, I think it's going to have a lesser impact if the numbers are weak. The chances of a rate cut now in December are down now at around 25%. If these numbers come in really, really weak today, then I would expect to see the dollar come under more pressure to the downside than strong numbers to the upside. And playing that way, I would prefer to be trading against the Japanese yen. And for those of you in the room that have been following me for the last couple of days, you've heard me talking about this. Basically, we're talking about the stock market. The stock market, as you know, it's been on all-time highs. We're hitting the highs in the Dow Jones, hitting the highs in the S&P 500. But what we've been seeing is an increase in the yen, the Japanese yen strength. I've seen it 3 times this year already when the Japanese yen is increasing and becoming a stronger currency at the same time when the stock markets are hitting highs. Normally those two work in different ways, the yen being a funding currency. But what's been happening is the yen's been putting up, this is basically preempting or could potentially preempting a drop in the stock market. So the yen has basically got that up bias momentum. You obviously know about what's going on in China and the US trade negotiations. China said, officials this week said that they think it's unlikely that a long-term Trump deal is going to happen. Again, that's potentially reasons why the yen is going to be strong, because the stocks are going to fall, yen's going to go high. So if it is a weak data today, I think selling dollar against the Japanese yen has more potential. Well, let's have a quick look and spin around to the charts so I can actually see the chat, if there's any chat coming through. We've got about 4 minutes, and you don't want to look at my that is dreadful. Look at that bald head. You want to get rid of that. That is unbelievable. God dear, oh dear. It's only when I come onto this camera every month that I actually see my own head. A bit distressing sometimes. Right, okay, so this is what's going on. As I just mentioned, you've got the yen. This is the brown currency in the momentum meter. For those that don't watch me every day, I know there's a few more in the room today. So this is the yen, the strong currency. That shows you this risk off at the moment. The stocks are getting a little bit precarious up at these levels, and the dollar, this green line, has been under pressure. The CAD was under pressure as well because of weak data. Remember today, normally you normally have the ISM manufacturing data, which is a good lead on job number. That normally comes out before the NFP, but because the NFP is falling today on the first Friday of the month, which happens to be the first of the month, we're not going to see the ISM manufacturing survey till later today, in about an hour and a half's time. So it's a shame about that, because that's normally quite a good indicator. Right, okay, so basically I'm going to be looking at this against the dollar yen, depending of course on the numbers, if they're going to be weak or strong. This is the dollar yen, and this is my risk management tool. I think some of you in the room are using this one. I didn't know most of you are in the room. But if you're not, you should be. If you're not using a risk management tool of some sort and controlling risk on each and every trade, then chances are you are gambling. I say that to you guys in the room all the time. I'm only going to risk 0.5% on this number today, 0.5% of this account. So I'm always going to be in control of my risk. The weak data, remember, weak data, I would see this potentially getting back down to the well, I mean, I put it 107.30 in here, but 107, 50 is going to hold it. If it goes back down to 107.30, then I think you're going to find some support coming in there. But that would basically be my bias. A weak data could see this dollar yen drop to those levels of 107.30 and possibly even lower. But we'll see when it gets up there. If it's strong data, I'll be selling it all day long up there at 108.50. If it gets up there, it can have my sell all the time. I've got multi-time frame analysis, as you should always be looking at. So I've got the daily chart here, the 4-hour chart. I'm just going to be looking at the weekly, the hourly chart for the data release. So this is the dollar yen. You've got my levels there that I mentioned to you a moment ago. We'll see how these comes out. And the Squawk says, good luck, see you on the other side. Indeed, we'll see you on the other side. And the euro dollar, same thing, multi-time frame analysis. So I've got risk percent in there. Okay, I'm just going to keep it on. I actually think it's going to be weak data. I think it's going to be weaker than the analysts are going for. So I'm actually going to just keep it on the dollar yen screen for now. I'm going to switch on to pending orders. I'm going to turn it on, pending orders. Okay, so the yellow line is going to be my entry line. The red line is my stop. Okay, so I'm going to put my stop above price. We'll see where it is when we come out. This is my entry. Whatever I do here, I'm only going to be risking 0.5% on this account. Okay, so for the sake of this little stream, it's just about $100. So it's not a big trade. I don't suggest you risk more than 0.5% on any trade. Got 10 seconds. Here we go. Here we go again. Let's see what we got. Big number, 128.
180,000 revised higher. Private payrolls 131,000. Average earnings at 0.2, slightly softer than 0.3 expected. Unemployment rate at 3.6%. Manufacturing payrolls down 36,000, less than expected, after 5,000.
So it's good numbers on the headline. The dollar's liking a bit of a bid here. But the average hourly earnings, remember this is the inflation number. The average hourly earnings is coming up 0.2%.
63.3%. U6 underemployment at 7%. Just to recap, 128,000.
I think the way to play this, if you're going to play this, maybe would be on the euro. If this gets back down to 111.25, I'm going to have some. So I'm going to put a pending order in here. A pending order to buy this. If we get back down to, I think this is a bit of an overreaction. I don't think the numbers are as good as there we go. We're going to stick that down there. I'm going to have a risk reward ratio. You look at my screen here, down here, risk reward ratio of 2 to 1. I'm still only risking about $100 on here. Okay, so I'm going to place that little pending order in there on buying the euro against the dollar. I think this dollar move to the upside is not necessarily as positive as it should be. We'll see if that gets in. The pending order's just gone in there now. So I'm buying at my support zone here at 107 sort of 25. I said 107.30, 107.25. If it gets down there, I'll have some. My stops are basically the stops are coming in there at 111.15. Just a quick little scalp on that. It's a very short tight trade. Let's have a look if we get traded with there. Just have a quick look at the chat, see what's going on. How good is my coin? US dollar likes it. It does indeed. Let's see if we get before we get traded with. I am just going to move that stop a little below 107 down to 110.90. Okay, but I'm not going to risk my risk reward ratio. I'm going to put that up as well, so my risk reward ratio stays the same. But I don't want a 10 pip stop on that. I think that's just a bit too tight, but we'll see. Let's hope we get this trade off at the moment to buy the euro dollar on a bounce, expecting the dollar to. The average earnings numbers came in. I haven't seen the revisions yet, but the revisions. Yeah, the revisions are not alarmingly bad or good. We'll see. We might get this trade away, or may not. US dollar, dollar yen doing well. Yeah, dollar yen doing well. Let's have a look at dollar yen. Dollar yen at the moment. Remember, one of the best advice I can give you is when you're trading is wait for the market to come to you. Don't be impatient. If it doesn't get the trade done, we don't get the trade done. Yeah, let's have a look at dollar yen. Beg your pardon, that's not that one. Dollar yen is there. Yeah, dollar yen 108.20. I said 108.50 should hold that. So 108.50 counter the move. I would say 108.50 will hold that today. For those of you, by the way, that are following the naked setups, I know some of you took this yesterday. The naked setups we had, just a quick recap on that. We did have this bearish pin bar at resistance yesterday. I know some of you took that. A lot of you have been missed. Well, 3 or 4 of you messaged me, should we get out of it before NFP? I was going to cover that. No, I don't get out of my naked setups because of data release. I know it's nicely on side, and we've made, you've made well, you're sort of 90 pips up on that. Profit target still, still a way to go. Profit target 1 would have been hit, of course, but profit target 2, your stops are above that candle anyway. So if you're still in that trade, I would say we'll still run it. That data that doesn't necessarily help your cause, but how important is that data, do you think? 1 month's data immediately after FOMC. Interesting actually. You might find the the ISM survey this afternoon will be maybe more important. Markets might move more on that, which is basically an ISM survey. Basically, ISM survey is basically a survey of sort of like 400 of the business leaders, asking them their opinions going forward, and employment for one thing. So that's sort of like a forward-looking indicator as opposed to a bad-looking indicator. One thing the market hasn't really homed in on here, okay? I don't think. Hopefully it does in a minute, but we've not seen a drop in average earnings like that for a while. I don't think. It's a drop in average earnings, okay? So employers are paying less. So you've had a steady decline. You've had a steady decline in the job numbers, the headline job numbers over the last, say, quarter, which you would expect. You would expect that to have an upward pressure, but it's not. The average hourly earnings is coming down. Average hourly earnings is coming down now, just 0.2. Okay, so I think you know, up, and the estimates are up 0.3. So hopefully we get this trade off in a moment to the long side. Not much impact on the EU. No, not much impact anywhere really. Says Dally Trader. Let's have a look here. Just moving this across. And we'll see the Brexit party speech this morning, asking for a pact. Pound's liking it. Pound's not doing anything actually, is it, against the dollar? It's liking it against the others. Alright, here we go. Are we going to get traded with it? Simple scalper trade. DAX up, euro dollar down, debt left. Possibly. Seems like a good result. Didn't affect New Zealand. No. Let's have a quick look. I just want to quick look at what's going on in the stock market. Remember, as I said, when the Powell basically puts on his pause, expect to see the stock market under pressure. What's been funding the stock market over the last 6 months has been the softening of US interest rates. They were quite clear, I think, a couple of days ago, that the path for interest rates is basically going to stall from here. That's why this stock market is going to have a bit of a wobble. Stocks yesterday, we had a drop of what do we do? We dropped almost 400 points yesterday. Bit of a recovery in here today. But the stock markets are still looking a little bit nervous at these levels. And as I say, when you look at the strength of the Japanese yen, the strength of the yen. This is the 4-hour chart. This shows you the strength of the weakness, strong ones, weak ones. When you show the yen up here, this shows you that there's definitely a risk off tone, i.e. the stocks are looking a little bit nervous. Normally, as I say, they go going the other way. When they go in the same way at all-time highs, beware. Euro pound gone down a few pips. Yeah, well, headshot sniper, you know my view on the euro pound. I've been championing that all week, but we should maybe have a drop on that. We've been holding our 50% zone for a while now, haven't we? This price action here with these high wick candles, the case is definitely mounting, for a break and close. If this breaks and closes, well, I think even today we've broken and closed through the 86 level. We'll be closed tonight at 86. I'm not advocating you take trade over the weekend, but this is bearish price action as far as I can see. We've held that 50% zone from that breakout, and I would say that into next week, we'll see a possible challenge down there at the 85 level. So I think bias still on for that. Yep. Sell's still looking good. Yep. I'm not sure if you're short that, but certainly looking at that. Good cut yesterday in the Aussie yen. We got out of our long position in Aussie yen. If you follow that trade signal, I did cut it actually on live stream. Because there was a definite change of sentiment and China were talking about trade and so forth. So we got out of that, although the Aussie's coming up a little bit stronger at the moment as the yen gives back some. But there you are. Let's have a look what else is going on. Someone said pound New Zealand popping, is it? Pound New Zealand popping? Not really. Not doing anything, is it? Not doing anything. Over these numbers, this type of numbers, I always like to look at this momentum meter. And I know we look at the momentum meter every day, but this one here, which basically pulls up the no, it doesn't. It's not coming up. Must have closed that down. But basically, looking at the why is that not coming? Why did I close that down? But if you look at the momentum meter on the 1 minute chart, okay, that basically shows you how the markets are reacting at this moment in time. So since the numbers came out, you're seeing a bit of yen strength, pound weak, dollar weakness, as we know. the euro, so the New Zealand, if you see here, the New Zealand is liking it a bit at the moment. Obviously the yen's liking it. The yen's liking it. Have I got that trade off yet? No, it's not. It's bouncing off again. And the Aussie's gone strong again. Aussie's gone strong in the last 20 minutes or so. Well, if you think that those numbers are good for the US dollar, if it's good for the US dollar, the biggest currency against the US dollar is the euro. So if it's good for the US dollar, then it's bad for the euro. If it's bad for the euro, and you've got the risk off coming in, selling euro yen that I've been talking about again all week, and in all my commentaries this week, I think I've mentioned euro yen, is still there. It's still a nice, I mean, it's holding that support zone, but we've sold off in from our sort of yellow zone that we talked about it yesterday. Big move. I would be, another bit of a pullback into this zone here. 50% of that move gets back into this high, so another sell at 120.75 might be in order. Euro yen. Now I'm going to put myself a little alert in there. I might knock one out there, if you excuse the expression from the U English. Yeah. Yeah, he's piped up from the woodwork. Typical. So euro so euro yen is a bit of a potential sell. We'll see. What are we doing on the okay, we're still having a bit of a bounce in here. Okay, having a bit of a bounce. 1:11.36. Not getting into my entry at 11:25. I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm going to leave it there. I mean, if we get that triggered, you got that flat horizontal moving average, the 200 moving average across this major, not major because it's a 1 hour chart. I don't think majors really happen on 1 hours. But you've got this big support zone in there at 1:11.20 to 1:11.10. So if I do get this, I mean, and I take out these zones here, then we're going to edge our way to stop. But I'm quite confident with that stop level down there at below. We will see how it goes. Right. Boring. It is I hope you took. Richard R says boring. I hope you're not referring to my presentation. Having been here for 3 years, each and every day, Richard, I know you're talking about the markets. It is a boring market. Actually, the NFP, I know the NFP's been reasonably boring for the last 3 events, and I don't think this is anything more than what we expected, really. Okay, we're seeing a bit of a bounce come in. Maybe I picked the wrong level, 1:11.25, or maybe the right level. Depends which way you look at it, of course. Yeah, depends which way you look at it. Right, I guess it's that time of the day again. I guess it is that time of the day. Watching Kim Bomb Dallas. I'm sure I got that name wrong. I get most names wrong. Watching Andrew is more entertaining than okie dokie. We'll leave that one for now. Okay, right. Yeah, I think it's almost time of the day. The Wandom Waffle, as Master Debates says, Nicholas Bates says. So we'll get on to that. I mean, a lot of you, I say this every month. A lot of you have come into this forex signal space because you've maybe seen me on YouTube. I mean, if you haven't seen me on YouTube, then maybe you should, because there you go. Yeah, I don't know if I ever talk about that. I don't really like to talk about it really, but it's actually 160, I think now. But there you go. There's the trophy. Yeah. So a lot of you come into this place because you've seen me on the YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, why haven't you seen me on YouTube? Everyone else has, and my kids are very proud when they put their hands up and they say, "Yeah, my dad's an architect. Yeah, my dad's a surveyor. My dad's a YouTuber." Watches Wiggly Lines. But I am. That's where you found it. So a lot of think this is all about me. Well, it's not all about me. I guess it is, really, isn't it? I guess it is. No, I'm just... it's Mark as well, and Max. But no, it's really all about the community that we have created here at Forex Signals. I am biased, but I do generally think it's the best community in the Forex space. Anywhere you go on the Forex space, no one is going to make you a millionaire trading the markets. Doesn't matter how much you pay them. You pay them $2,500 for $1,000 for a month subscription. No one's going to make you. Only you can make it. But what we've done here is we've created a community of wonderful people. I've only met a few of you personally, but obviously we chat all the time. You know, this whole thing works because of the people that we have here. So this event, Non-farm Payroll, is a chance for us here at Forex Signals to say thank you to the to you as community members for your work for the month. Okay, we've got a lot of people in here that are active all day long, and we have a lot of people that sit there on the sidelines. That's okay, I understand, but you can always get involved. There is a chance to win $500 if you do get involved. You know, giving back to the community, that is what it's all about. So it's our chance to say thank you to those that have got involved. There's nothing to say that you win it one month, you can't win it the next month. You know, this month's vote, Mark's been off this week. It normally goes out to myself, Mark and Max, and we all have equal votes on it. And I've also got a couple of admin people that that listen in as well, and they sometimes come up and say, have you kept an eye on this guy? He's been really getting involved. So but Mark's been away, so this month's went out to Max, myself, and the people's vote. You guys, I've asked you to vote over the last 3 days or 2 days for your vote as well, so that you were the third vote. And we've come up with the the two winners. I don't know who the third winner is, apart from possibly, well, I've got a good chance. I say my family have got a good chance to win that one. But the room contributor this month was basically it won it by a 2/3 majority on the vote. I'm not going to say which way the 2/3 went, and the trading best trade signal was basically a 3 majority. So that was good to see that the room agreed with us as well. Right, so let's start off. The first prize for the room contributor for the month of October goes to congrats, Johnny. Okay, yes, congratulations, Johnny boy. Congratulations to you. That is $500 winging its way to you now. Well, it's not actually. You've got to let support know, and we'll send it straight to you. So let them know. In fact, I actually have to award that. So let me not forget that. I have to do that in a second. And then you will get your $500 sent to you, and it goes straight into your IC Markets trading account, but there's no strings attached. None of these things. You need to trade 50 standard lots to get your money. You can take it out immediately and go and spend it on what you wish, or you can put it into your trading career. I don't know what that means to you in terms of your trading career, but it's yours to do whatever you wish with it. So thank you very much, Johnny, as well. And I'm also delighted to say I actually think I've got more hair than you, which is good as well, by looking at your picture there. Just got it there now, so that's nice to know as well. So even better. Right, what's going on in the in this euro dollar? Okay, euro dollar coming back down. We're still not quite at our entry. I am not going to meddle with that now. I am in there. I will leave it there. If you have placed that trade or you've made some money on that, has anyone made any money on this, or been more bold than me? Good luck to you if you have. I think it's going to dry up for the weekend. We're going to be, I tell you what, I mostly won't leave this in for the ISM survey at an hour and 10 minutes. I mostly will take it out before that, but we can address that when it comes to it. It's called forex signals. Yep. It's called forex signals. As we all know, I talk about it all the time. No one's going to put their children through school or pay for their mortgage by following this forex signal from anyone else in the world. It's just not going to happen. People come into the room and say, "Where are the signals? Where are the signals?" Yep, it's called forex signals. I expect that. Forex signals have two purposes. First of all, it's a chance for you to analyse get your own trades analysed. What the others are thinking about it, what the mentors are thinking about it, what your fellow traders are thinking about it as well. It's also a chance for you to follow what the mentors are doing. Mark, myself, and Max, we put out signals. We have our own money on those signals. So we have live money going on. I certainly have live money going on it, or maybe it's not the same size as my bigger account, but we have money going on it, so we generally be. But you can learn from those signals. You can ask questions on them as well. We send these out if you want to follow a signal, a mentor, or any other member. If you go to, just so you don't know, I know there's some of you in the room here that don't know how to do this. If you go to a particular, if I go to, say, Johnny, and I wanted to follow Johnny, I click on his profile, his picture, there he is. I click on there. If you to click on his profile picture there and say that little plus, that basically means you are going to follow him. Every time Johnny puts out a signal, you're going to get an email notification to you. So the signal section is a very important part of the site because it says it on the tin. And the more that people contribute, the better it is for everyone as well. So I encourage everyone to put out a signal, even if it's your first one, you've never done it before. Put out a signal. We comment on it. Other people will comment on it. You get to know if your analysis is working. Have you missed the plot? Are you doing something right, something wrong? So it's a real good chance to get your own stuff and analyze. And we really appreciate it as well. I love watching the trade signals as well. Some people are. It doesn't matter what level of experience you've got. A signal is a signal, because ultimately, when we place a trade, we don't know which way it's going. No one knows which way it's going. It's impossible to know. Even me. People ask me what's going on with the gold. I don't know. I've got my bias, but I don't know what's going on. If I knew what was going on, then I'd be telling Warren Buffett and George Soros. I wouldn't be telling Johnny Boy. So the signal section is a very important part of the site. So we'd like to thank everyone for their contributions. And this week's winner is someone that basically, I think by the sound of things, he's not been trading for a vast amount of time, but he's been actively populating the trade signals. He's commenting on them. He's putting effort into the trade signals. He's following up on them as well. He was also potentially a candidate for the room contributor as well. So I'm delighted this month to award $500 in cold hard cash to Oliver the Pug. Okay, congratulations to Headshot Sniper. Well deserved. As I said, I think by the sound of things, you are reasonably new to You've only been in the room here with us for a couple of months, I know that. But I think by looking at some of your comments that you've said in the past that you're new to it, you're finding your way and all that. So I am delighted to award that to you on a unanimous decision. So thank you very much indeed for that headshot sniper. Well deserved. I certainly haven't got more hair than you, but thank you for that. Well done to headshot sniper. For those of you, as I say, that are listening in outside of our room, then if you want to get involved in this, please get involved. I think there's a link below where you're watching on YouTube. I think there's a link there. You've got a little code you can get in. You can come in, you can get involved, you can get involved for next month's competition. It starts now, so we are running the clock again. So you can get involved as well, not just for $500. $500 is a token gift. I know it's not going to change anyone's life, but it's a token gift. But there's lots going on here, and we do this. Well, we don't do this palaver every day, but we do live streaming around the clock, 6 hours a day. So if you want to get involved in that, you want to chat to us, mentors, other people. If you want to chat to Headshot Sniper or Johnny Boy or let's get it up to 50k. Yes, that'd be nice. Yeah. So there you go. But it's not over yet. Not over yet. It's that time. It's time for the auditors. It's time for you guys in the room that sit there from the side just watching in. This is the time where we give out $500 in a completely random raffle. Okay, I always forget how to do this, so I'm just gonna, yeah, there we go. So I've got to pull this over here now. So this is the random raffle. I haven't got one of these nice production videos all sorted out because it's random, although I've got 33 entrants myself. Oh, by the way, just before I end up on Forex Peace Army, I haven't entered into this at all. I haven't got 33 people in this, so don't put me there saying he runs a competition and it's only his family. It's just a bit of Friday afternoon humour. I haven't got any entrants at all, apart from Oliver the pug, and he can't spend it anyway, so I'd have to throw it back. So I will be saying, where is it? It goes to the award section. So what I need to do now is so these are the winners from last month, Mosin and JUK. I must admit, Mosin got quite a lot of votes this month from the room. And Jay got quite a few votes as well, so it's good to see the votes coming in for both of these. And there's nothing, as I say, to stop you winning month to month, back to back. Nothing to say that at all. So by all means, if you win one month, you can still win the next month. Right, the random raffle. What I do now is I click to launch the raffle. You'll see your name in there somewhere. I know some people record this and then they play it back to make sure their name was in there because it means so much to them. But I can guarantee you, if you registered, your name will be in here. Okay, so I now have to pick up it and go through automatically. I have no idea who the winner is. So let's just do that now. And let's hope this person is a contributor in the room as opposed to someone that signed up once and doesn't come. There we go. Let's just make sure Oliver's in there. Yeah, Oliver's in there. I'm in there. My wife's in there. My sister's in there. Daughter, yeah, they're all in there. Yeah, that's good. It goes to, never heard of him, Viz OBR, gets $500. There you go, Viz. Is he in the room now? Congratulations to Viz. If I tell you, if these prizes don't get claimed, if the person just signed up once and never comes back in, I don't know about Viz, then the money is still held and we give it out in various other prizes that Mark often does, things, competitions and quizzes and all that. So the money doesn't go, the money does not get wasted if someone doesn't claim. But we will reach out to Viz Ibor to see indeed if he is, if he's listening, if he's wants to claim his prize or not. So thank you for that. Let's have a look. Has he mentioned anything? Has Vizzy come in? Vizzy boy. That's Max's second handle. Easy at Vizbor. Congrats, Vizbor, says Rohan. Okay, well, looks as though. Which dimension you're from? He's not in the room, is he? Thanks for your generosity, boss. Right, okay. What's going on? Bouncing off this. Come on. Right. So let's just have a quick. Oh, so congratulations to the winners today, to Viz, to Headshot, and to Johnny Boy. Congratulations. If you want to get involved next one, do so now. Right, so just remember, don't forget, you've got to make sure you download this risk management tool if you haven't already got one. This is, I'm serious, I know I want to mention this now because we've got double the amount of people in the room than normal. I want to say that if you are trading, you take nothing away from the non-farm payroll. Please take this away. Please make sure that you're trading with risk consideration on each and every trade. This allows you to do all your position sizing and make sure that you're only risking a certain amount. A lot of people blow up trading accounts and they end up, you know, giving up on the dream. You're never going to blow up a trading account if you're trading 0.25. You're going to be learning a lot along the way, but it's all about discipline. And if you're controlling risk on each and every trade, the discipline will help as well. Where can I find the risk management tool? Good question. I am pleased you asked. All our tools are in the tools section of the site. So here it is. If you go to the trading lab, okay, so you go to our trading lab, trading tools. Here you will see the risk manager. You can click on the video as well. You've got the naked trading EA. That's our end of day strategy where we look for key turning points at the support and resistance. So the video in there with all the rules in there as well, so you can check all that out. You can download the expert advisor as well. You've got the momentum meter for those that don't watch me every day. That's my one with those wiggly lines that my daughters think I do all day long. Just look at wiggly lines. That tells me what's being bought, tells me what's being sold. I'm a trend continuation trader intraday, so this is my best clue. It doesn't predict the future. It tells me what's happening at this moment in time. I think it's invaluable. Why do I want to be buying the Canadian dollar and selling the Aussie dollar if both those are dreadfully weak currencies? I want to be buying something that's strong. I want to be selling something that's weak. And if I'm counter trend trading, I want to be selling something that's converging as opposed to diverging. Then you've got the pattern finder. You can download that there as well. Pattern finder, for those that don't know, it's a great tool. Here it is. I don't know if it's going to come up on this platform. Mostly won't come up. It's on my other thing. There it is. There's the pattern finder. This is a great tool. I encourage you, if you're following my trend following strategy that you may have seen on the YouTube channel, this is a great tool. You can download this. Is free as well. You can look for the engulfers, the pins. You can search it on any time frame you want. For the sake of this, let me search it on the 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, activate. Okay, and it's going to come up with these currency pairs that basically put in some price action. If you click on the view, so if I want to look at this 5 minute chart, the pound New Zealand, click on view, it will default to pound New Zealand, the 5 minute chart. You can see there it puts a little arrow in showing you the direction of the trend. You can follow the rules of the strategy, know the rules. You can engage that strategy just by using that simple to follow tool as well, telling you that this, and that's must be not a bad little 5 minute trade. If I was trading a 5 minute trade, I need to look at the higher time frame. It's supposed to be not a bad trade, that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that possibly is. You know, well, you stop to be above there, and your profit targets will be down here, and then you trade behind the 13 moving average. But that is a great way to get involved. And if you want to clear it, you clear it. If you let's look at this CAD Swiss 1 hour engulfer. That is not doing very much. It's at the bottom of this downtrend, so we're not going to trade that. What about again? Let's have a look at CAD. Look at this CAD. Sorry, pound Swiss pin bar. Okay, pound. This almost complies with the rules of the strategy as well. It's a 15-minute chart. This one, but you have this pin bar into the array of moving averages. Didn't quite touch it. It doesn't quite tick those boxes, but you can follow the rules anyway. But this tool really is useful to allow you to pick these turning points. Remember, I didn't invent engulfers and pin bars. They are industry standard. We did code this up just to make your life a little bit easier. So rather than you having to scan 28 charts, you can just set your time setting. You got your 1 hour strategy with your 4 hour confirmation. Set it on 1 hour. You just sit there waiting for it to buzz you. It will ping your phone as well if you want to get notified that a pattern's just come out. A very simple strategy, and I encourage anyone, certainly if you're starting off in trading, that you keep it simple. You know, most of the people that fail in trading, I can promise you this now, and I've been doing this game for over 30 years. Most people that fail in trading, it's not because of the strategy. is because of not being able to follow rules. This is a very simple rule-based strategy, and this tool helps you do that. If you can master that with a slight edge is all you need. That's all the casino's got. Casino's got 37 spins on the roulette wheel, 36 to 1 it pays out. You know, slight edge and the casino makes money. Slight edge you need, keeping the rules. This is a very simple strategy. Make sure if you're starting off in trading, you keep it simple. Perfect little strategy. Right, okay folks, I think we're almost coming to the end of that. Not quite beer o'clock, but it's tempting. Friday, if you are, there we go, and Tibos has just sent a trade signal out in trader day in the euro pound. What do you think? Buying euro pound, says Tibos. Good to you as well. Right folks, I'm sorry we didn't get that trade off today. I am going to pull it now. It was a trade for the non-farm payroll. It's not my style of trading for me, but that's fine. So I'm not just going to leave it there for the sake of it. I am pulling that order now. If you want to keep it in there, of course you can. I suggest you have stops below below the figure 111, and potentially retarget these highs up there. But as I say, I'm putting that order now from the market. So unfortunately, no trade today on NFP, but that doesn't mean it's a bad NFP or bad day's trading. Okay? There's 3 trades you can take. You can buy it, you can sell it, or you can do nothing. Each of them are valued trades. Okay, Max is going to be on in about soon, I think, in maybe 20 minutes or so, to get yourselves a coffee. You've got the ISM survey in 50 minutes. That could be a bit of a mover as well, more so maybe than and you've got another ISM survey out next week as well, non-manufacturing, I think, as well. So keep an eye on that for next week. You've got what else have we got? Yeah, that is about it for now. For those of you that are tuning out from Australia, Asia Pacific area, have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you again on Monday. Mark will be on for the Asian session. The start of the Asian session will be, Max and I will be during the European US session again. We'll start all again Monday. So have a lovely weekend. If you are supporting the rugby, and you're whatever, then you can follow England. I won't be streaming that game live, but I think it will be maybe more interesting than non-farm payroll. But that game is tomorrow at 9 AM London time. If you want to support England, you are entitled to do so. I know we've got a couple of South Africans in there. Yeah, that's it. So have a lovely weekend with your family. I'll see you Monday. If you're tuning in from the Eurozone and the US, I'll see you for the London Forex market wrap this evening. Let's see if that market dries up, or indeed if you would have got taken out on the 11.25 with a buy order. Thanks. Have a wonderful time if you're leaving us now, and we'll see you next week. If not, I'll see you later.